Till a few years ago, Jyothi Yarraji's name was known only to the most devoted athletics fans, but she has swiftly risen to become one of India's most promising stars in track and field. India's only sub-13 runner and current national record holder in the women's 100-meter hurdles with a time of 12.78 seconds, Jyothi Yarraji recently shattered her own 60-meter hurdles national record twice in a single day. She lowered the record to an impressive 8.04 seconds during her season opener in 2025. This 8.04 second performance places her joint fourth on the all-time Asian list and second among active athletes, just behind Japan's Masumi Aoki, who holds a time of 8.01 seconds. However, since it was an indoor competition, her coach James Hillier told NNI Sports that indoor competitions are not their primary targets. Jyothi also trained in South Africa with Nadine Weiser, who finished fourth in the 100-meter hurdles at the Paris Olympics, and the current world champion Famke Bol. Jyothi will now set her sights on qualifying for the World Championships 2025, where the standard is set at 12.73 seconds. Her coach James Hillier is confident that Jyothi not only has the ability to qualify, but also possesses the potential to make it to the 100 meters hurdles final.
Yeah, I mean, Jyothi's, she's naturally more gifted at the outdoor event. So for the 60-meter hurdles is a bit more uncomfortable for her. She gets better the further down the race she goes. So if she can perform well indoors, that gives her really good foundations to improve the outdoors. Because if she can improve the first 5 hurdles, and particularly the first 3 hurdles, to be honest, not only will she be faster, but it sets up a better rhythm and better speed for what she's best at, which is the last 3 hurdles. So I'll be very confident she'll qualify for the World Champs outright. I don't think that's something that we're particularly worried about. I think that'll come as long as we get the best races and the right conditions, and and she stays healthy and all these type of things. I think we're definitely on a pathway to uh, in fact, the mindset is not even qualifying for World Champs now. Actually, the mindset is more doing well once we're there. And that's something we definitely learned from Paris. And I think it was all the effort was in the journey to Paris and not the journey at the games. And I think that's mindset now has to change. It's not about making the team for the World Champs. Like we shouldn't even be thinking about making the team. The team that should be a gimme. It should be about getting there and performing well when she's there. And trying to make that final. So that mindset needs to shift. Needs to change from her and maybe from me also. I know what she's capable of. I've said this many times. I've seen it in training. I've seen it again in South Africa in training. I've looked at the data. I've sat with the biomechanist. We've gone through it, and we know the numbers don't lie, right? So we know what the numbers are saying. It's now all down to her and her being able to take what she's done in training and then step it up a couple of notches in competitions, and I think she should qualify comfortably for World Champs and do well when she's there. So I think we have to change that narrative a bit now. It's not about making a team; it's about being there, being competitive, and trying to make that final. Because being a global finalist in an event like sprint hurdles, which is arguably strength in depth, one of the strongest, if not the strongest event in the world at the moment, would be a considerable achievement for her. Jyothi's in a unique position where every time she breaks a personal best, it's another national record. So I knew she was in shape to run fast. She's had a really good training camp in South Africa, and that's gone really well. And all the sort of data that we've got from that, all the biomechanical data we've got from that, is very objective data. So we kind of know what she's capable of running, and it's just a case of being able to express herself in the track and deliver. So the heat was good. It was 8:07. There's a few bits that we had to work on from that. So I felt like she wasn't quite finding her rhythm properly in the last couple of hurdles. The pickup wasn't quite what I feel like it can be. So we worked on that in the warm up before the final, and then she improved that really well in the final, and that's why she ran a bit quicker in the final on 8:04. And nice to get a win as well. There's some good girls there. The South African girl is very good. She's an Olympic level athlete and has run very fast indoors as well. She's a little bit of an indoor specialist, so for Jyothi to beat her over the 5 hurdles indoors was really pleasing. So I think it was a nice level competition. It was a tough competition, but not too tough, and good for her to come away with a win. And I think she's taken a lot from that competition. And we have another competition on Friday in Miramas, which is in the south of France, and that's going to be a significant step up. There'll be a lot of really good girls there, so a good opportunity for her now. She's sort of dusted off the cobwebs to potentially run even faster and put in an even better performance later this week. So I'm pretty optimistic. In fact, we all are. She's quite excited. She feels like she's going to run faster. She knows it's within herself to run faster. So yeah, looking forward to her executing a good race and hopefully running a bit quicker in later in the week.
In the last World Championships in 2023, Jyothi finished 7th in the heats with a timing of 13.05 seconds. At the last Asian Championships, she won the gold medal with a timing of 12.98 seconds. However, this time, the World Championships qualification mark of 12.73 seconds is tough for Jyothi. Can she qualify for the Worlds? In James's opinion, she can.
The timing was right. So for us, the indoor season is it's a very it's not something we take too seriously. The outdoors is the focus this year. The focus is on the Asian Championships at the end of May and the World Championships in September. But because she's been on this training camp in South Africa, I wanted to have some competitions at the end of the training camp to almost justify, validate, and see how well the training camp has gone and give her a bit of a focus so that at the end of the camp, we almost like test how well the camp's gone. So this competition was the perfect timing because she left South Africa on Wednesday night, and got into Paris Thursday night. Then we had to get a train then over to Nantes. So we got into Nantes sort of late on Thursday. That gave her 24 hours to sort of just recover, really get some rest, just go to the track, have an easy warm up, and then race on the Saturday. So she's still going to be a little bit tired from the training camp, still going to be a little bit tired from all the traveling. So I wasn't expecting a huge amount from the competition. I knew she was going to most likely break her personal best, but the timing was right. The timing was right. It was almost like straight after the training camp. Now the goal for this week is to freshen her up a little bit. So in fact, we just come from the track now. She's just done some easy sort of flat runs, just working on a little bit of keeping in touch with her speed endurance, but nothing too crazy. She'll do weights tomorrow and an easy track session on Wednesday, just a bit of a hurdle setup session on Wednesday. Then she'll travel. It's about a 4-hour travel to the competition on Friday, but hopefully by then she'll be nicely rested for this competition and a bit fresher. And I feel if she's a bit fresher, she can run a little bit faster. Then she'll do one more competition on the 2nd of Feb, which is another competition in France, so just outside of Paris. And then she'll come back to India on the 4th and then do National Games, which will be obviously an outdoor race. So it's only a very short, it's like a week, almost just a little bit longer than a week of indoor competition, just 3 competitions, just to sort of, like I said earlier, just to really check and challenge, test, and validate the training camp that she's had in South Africa.
James Hillier said training in South Africa helped her and she defeated Weiser a couple of times on the reps. Weiser finished 4th in the 100-meter hurdles at the Paris Olympics.
Yeah, the training camp in South Africa was fantastic. So yeah, she was training with Nadine Visser, who was, as you said, he was 4th at the London Olympics in the sprint hurdles, just outside the medals. Very, very high quality athlete, very experienced athlete. And Jyothi learned a lot from her. And I think the big thing she's taken out of that trip is the fact that she's training well with her. She's level on most of the reps. Some reps Nadine was ahead, and actually Jyothi beat her on a couple of reps as well. So she got a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in that. And I think what it's done is it's almost humanized a very high level athlete for Jyothi, and that's important for her development, for her to realize that these superstar athletes are not hugely different to her, and really the only difference is that they've had a different path to success. They've probably been involved in organized athletics for longer. They've had more competitions. They'd had better quality coaching and environments and things like that. So Jyothi's closing that gap and she's catching her, and it's very premeditated for me as her coach to be exposing her to these things, these world class athletes, these camps and stuff like that. So we're very fortunate to train with Nadine and her coach Laura Muley, who also guides, as you said, Femke Bol, and he's got the whole sort of Dutch sprint relay team as well. So some very fast girls on the flat. So Jyoti got a lot of benefit from that as well, because obviously Jyoti's a very, very fast sprinter. So she was training with these fast girls, and again, not being disgraced at all against these girls. So huge amount of confidence, and I think hopefully more than confidence, she's got belief in her own abilities, that she can be as good as everybody else, and she's closing that gap on them now. And yeah, we're excited that she's got that mentality. She'd be really getting stuck into really high level competitions, and obviously we have Asian champs and world champs to get stuck into this year.
While Jyoti did superbly at the indoors event, Hillier says that is not their prime target. He explained why.
World indoors is not on our radar, so even if she qualifies, 99% sure she won't do it. Our focus is on the Asian Outdoor Championships and on the World Championships outdoors. So for us indoors, these three meets really are just about exposing her to some competition and justifying the trip to South Africa. So we're not planning on doing the World Indoors. So even if she qualifies, it'd be very, very unlikely that she does it. Unfortunately, in athletics, we can't do everything, and the dates don't quite work, and we have to make sure that she's peaking at the Asian Championships. And I feel that if she does the World Indoors, that might affect the peaking process for the Asian champs. So yeah, we have to sort of pick and choose and be very sensible how we plan and plot, which competitions to focus on. Yeah, so she won't be doing World Indoor Championships.